Man, you ain't gonna believe this. Do you remember when Jay-Z said this?
Because it's a project, an experiment, wearing it only as objects, an object for us to explore our prospects. Sidestep cops on the way to the top. Yes.
Now follow me now because this is gonna be a good one. This ain't about they clone Tyrone, but it's very, very close. Now watch this right here. Most of us work a 9 to 5, and they call that the rat race, either corporate America or blue collar work. It's the rat race. But did you know that the rat race actually means a group of laboratory rats racing through a maze in order to be the first one to obtain a goal? That's interesting. They also made it a movie back in 1960. But what does this have to do with they clone Tyrone or Jay-Z? I'm glad you asked. Our story first starts with this guy right here. His name is Robert Tryon. Robert Tryon, kind of like Tyrone. Check this out. He was an American behavior psychologist who pioneered the study of hereditary trait inheritance and learning in animals. His series of experiments with laboratory rats showed that animals can be selectively bred for greater aptitude at certain intelligence tests. Now watch this. This is the crazy part right here. Tune in real quick. Hold on to your horses and your seats because it's about to go down. So Robert Tryon, he conducted a test with 100 rats, right? And he put them in certain environments, one with a clean environment and one with a dirty environment. Now watch what my guy say. Watch this.
Environment where it had clean water. They put it in an environment where it had the right amount of space for the rats can, get, basically if they wanted to be by themselves, they could. They made sure that it was good food in there that didn't have any type of poisons put inside the foods. They even gave them space to breathe, to go upstairs, downstairs. They just gave them this abundant environment, right? They put these rats in there. Mind you, these are the same rats with the same genetical molecular structure, which is nothing different. They both came from the same mama, the same daddy, the same family tree, right? So they took these rats, they put one in a good environment, then they put the other 100 rats in a bad environment where they didn't get water. If they did get water, the water actually had acids in it. They made sure they didn't give them the regular food. I think they gave them like cat food or something like that with a bunch of pellets that was inside of them, right? They stuck them on top of each other, and they made sure that the space was very, very small. They never cleaned any poop out of the maze. They piss out of the maze, and they left them in there. They left them in there for 4 months, and they watched how their behavior changed. They went back and they got the actual rats that came from the good environment, and they put them in the maze. They ended up going through the maze very, very fast. Then they ended up going to get the rats that they put in the bad environment and put them in the maze, and they didn't know how to even make it through the first section of the maze. So he maybe this is a coincidence. So he did it. So what he did was he switched the rats. He took the rats that was smart, that made it through the maze, that was in the good environment, and he put them in the bad environment. Then he took the rats that was in the bad environment, that was dummies that couldn't make it through the maze at all, and he put them in the good environment. He waited 4 months, then he took them back out. The same rats that was good and smart, that was in the good environment, that he put in the bad environment, now they couldn't make it through the maze. The same rats that was in the bad environments, that was dummies that couldn't make it through the maze, he put them in a good environment. Now they making it through the maze and making it through life just fine. So he said, damn, it ain't the genetics. It ain't who these people is as individuals. It's the community. It's the environment that you put these biological entities in that changes the way they interact with their environment and with themselves. Did you know he did another 6-month experiment on the same rats that he left in the bad environment? Guess what they started doing? Killing each other. Some of the male rats started humping other male rats. Homosexuality. Look, the other rats that was at the bottom that didn't have the food, these niggas went upstairs to the other rats and started robbing them for food and water. I said, damn, this sound like your typical project. Don't this sound like the PJs? This is a real rat experiment. So it made me start questioning. I had to sit back and really rub my chin.
They turned into robbing rats?
They turned into robbing, homosexual.
What else are you gonna do?
Rats.
It's a survival mechanism at this point.
Now check this out though, guys. It was a selective group of female rats, and I really want y'all to look this up when y'all get home today. Watch this. It will fuck your mind up. The female rats, they started pampering themselves. They used to let their children just do what the fuck ever. They started pampering themselves. All they was worried about
hood rats. Which one of these?
See, these was the hood rats.
Okay.
The hood rats, right? Exactly. So the hood rats. I'm gonna quote that. The hood rats. All they did was pamper themselves. The only thing that they worried about was their fur. They worried about their weight. They didn't worry about their children anymore. They weren't worried about the mama papa rat. The only thing that they focused on was their actual cells. And then the father rats started going to other different parts of the actual rat experiment cage and started bullying on the younger children. It was crazy, man. Look, it gets so deep when you really start watching it. It even rapists started happening. Rape with the older male rats in the community started raping the younger males and the younger female rats. Okay. Same thing that happens in the ghetto where a young girl will get touched on by their uncle, or a young male will get touched on by their uncle or their auntie. this happens. So it's like, damn, is this rat experiment that's going on in Tyrone, rat maze experiments, the same shit that's going on with us?
That experiment that you just heard Yaki Awakening talk about, it happened in 1940s. With understanding that, this gives a new and profound identity and definition of the term hood rat, projects, and rat race. So when you think about they cloned Tyrone, it's not necessarily that they cloned people, but they actually cloned the idea and the mental capacity and the structure on how these people behave, being that they're in a controlled environment. I don't know. What do you think about it? Peace. If you're in a bad environment, something that's not really good for your health, your mental health, or anything like that, you might want to get out of that environment, because we know that it's not our genetics that has us acting all crazy and out of control, but it's our environment. The environment might be a little bit toxic. So I suggest you find somewhere else to go. Dang, I guess the homie Jay was right. That's crazy. Hey, follow and like this video. Also, share it to somebody that you know that's toxic. Let them know that it's not them. It may just be their environment is a little bit unstable. You know what I'm talking about? Holla at your guap.